Today I'm going to show you how to create a location-based WebAR experience right from your browser using hardly any code. We'll use Mattercraft, which is Zappar's next-gen 3D web tool.
This is incredibly useful for AR creators who want to build persistent AR experiences, whether it's for outdoor installations, virtual landscaping, or even interactive city tours. And with Mattercraft's integration with Immersal, we can precisely anchor 3D objects in real-world spaces. In this tutorial, I'll guide you through the entire process, from setting up a project, scanning your space, adding 3D objects, and making them interactive, all the way to testing and publishing your AR scene. My idea for this experience stemmed from looking out of the window to see that winter has left my garden looking a little lifeless. So I thought, what if we could bring it back to life using AR? And that is exactly what we'll be doing today. To get started, head over to zap.works/Mattercraft. If you haven't already, then sign up and get the 14-day free trial. Or if you have already signed up, then just log in as normal. Then create a project in Mattercraft and name it whatever you like. For this example, I'm just going to call mine Garden. Then once you've created your project, there's a bunch of amazing templates to get started if you're a beginner, or if you just want to have a play around with the different features, then I would really recommend. I particularly love the physics examples as they're super fun to dive straight in and update with your own assets, then you're able to just test and experience really quickly. But for today, since we're using the real-world location tracking, I'll use the template with the Immersal integration, so a lot of the setup is already done for us, and it explains here what steps to take. Next, we need to scan our space using Immersal. Download the Immersal Mapper app on your phone and create an account. There's a free version up to 100 images per map. If you're using the free version, just make sure you're in manual mode, as real time won't work here. So then, just walk around your space and capture lots of scans of the area. I worked within a smaller space for this test, but it works best if you can get as many images that cross over each other as possible, so they all line up one stitch together. Once you think that you've taken enough images, go ahead and save the map. Then download this map and let's bring our scan into Mattercraft. Open the Immersal developer portal and now your scan should appear there. Copy your developer token and put this in the right text field within the Immersal anchor group. Then do the same for your map ID. And now we can see a 3D representation of our real garden. This acts as an anchor so everything stays in place. So now we can delete the cube, and if you turn off the wireframe preview, then it's easier to see the model to be able to align our assets. Mattercraft has a built-in asset library where we can choose anything, such as flowers, bushes or trees. Simply select Add to Project on the bottom right and this will add them to your scene. I was amazed at how many realistic looking assets there were on here, which makes it super easy for prototyping and testing how different assets might look within your environment. To make everything look realistic, I'm positioning my plants carefully to match the real world layout. You can rotate, scale and move them to fit perfectly. I then wanted more options of flowers and colours, so I went to Sketchfab and downloaded some models that I liked. Then added these to the fence just as we did before. I duplicated a few, then changed the scale so that they looked slightly different. Then that's it, that's all the placement finished. Now let's customise our splash screen, which is the first thing that users see when they load our AR experience. Within the File Explorer, there's an index.html file. This is where all of the splash screen design is. You can click Live Preview and then open in Simulator to watch the changes side by side, which is super helpful as it updates every time you make changes and click Save. I've already uploaded an AI generated image to my project for the background, so here's where I'll change it. Next, let's change the button colour to fit a bit more with the garden theme. For simplicity, I'm just using colour names here instead of hex codes, but you could pick any custom colour that you like. Then I think white text would look better on this coloured background, so let's update that. Then finally, let's edit the welcome message to be a bit more personal. I'm just going to go with transform your garden using immersive technology. But have a play around and change whatever you think is best to suit your project. Then let's update what happens after the user presses launch. Let's go back to our scene and close the live preview. Currently, the plants and flowers appear straight away once the user has scanned the experience. Let's add some show and hide animations to make the opening experience feel less static. Open the animation timeline, add a new layer, and name this show/hide. Then add a new state for hide. With hide selected, select all of the 3D objects that you'd like to hide at the start. And scale down to 0. Now you can see them showing and hiding. Then we need to set the hide to be the default state, as we want it to appear hidden from the start. Then create another state for show, and there we can see it animating from hide to show. You can change the easing graph for the animations, so I had a play around with that to see which looked best. But in the end I just went with ease in and ease out, as it felt smooth and probably the most suitable for an intro animation. Next, we need to add some sort of interaction to play these animations, so let's add a button that lets users tap to grow a plant. In the hierarchy menu, click to add HTML and then name that. Then under HTML, add a button. Write what you'd like it to say on the button. To make the button look nice, let's add some simple CSS styling in a style.css file. I'm changing the background colour, font size, padding and border for now. Then we'll add this script to the button to see how it looks. Making sure the class list matches up. Next, we'll add some behaviour for clicking the button, so click on Animation Actions and Activate State. Then under Event, select On Click, then select your layer that you made earlier for the Show and Hide plants. Then we can preview how this looks, and there we have it. Going back to the style.css file, I updated the button design to make it fit better with the garden theme. Here is the final script. To keep the experience clean, we'll make the button disappear once it's been tapped, so users can enjoy the full AR garden view. Rename the layers accordingly so it's clear which is for plants and which is for the button. Like we did before, create a new layer for show and hide, then create a hide state. Whilst this is selected, go to the HTML button and tick Not Visible. Then we need to add behaviour so that this will only happen once it's been clicked, just like we did when we were showing the plants. By clicking Run at Edit Time, we can preview within the editor. And there we go, tap to grow plants. Finally, we test the experience by clicking on the live preview in the top right and scanning the QR code on our phone. One of my favourite things about Mattercraft is the real-time updates. So you can save your changes and then it automatically refreshes the link on your phone. This is great for making small tweaks and being able to see your updates instantly. You have to scan the floor for a couple of seconds so that the placement will be accurate. Then there we have it, my finished AR garden. Now I can tap to plant flowers and enjoy a lovely summer garden, but in winter. We can then publish the project to go live by going over to the left-hand side and clicking publish. Type in any version number that you like. I'm just going to go with 1.0. Then Mattercraft will handle the deployment and hosting of your project on the link and QR code provided.
And that's it. We've just created a location-based AR garden that blends digital plants seamlessly within the real world, all using Mattercraft and Immersal. We've covered everything from scanning real-world locations, importing 3D models, adding animations and interactivity, and finally publishing our experience so others can try it out. I'd love to see what you create. Try this tutorial yourself and share your results in the Zappar XR Pioneers Discord community, or tag Zappar on social media with your own AR creations. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see what you create.